yeah, it was a good fight, good contest. Only 10 rounds.
When you're at that level, you should be doing 12.
I think it's time for him to retire.
Yeah.
Let's
It
do
just
him.
looks
What do you
amateurish
think?
sometimes.
I was sat there thinking, I could beat you.
Yeah, but Joyce was the aggressor.
He wasn't hitting him.
I think he wants a rematch with Dubois.
Yeah, I think he's capable of beating Dubois.
He's got to win a couple more fights.
Joshua, do you think he's going to come back?
Yeah, of course he is.
Who do you think is going to be?
Tyson Fury.
Welcome back to Boxcast. Today we're going to look back at the weekend's action, starting with Janibek, Alimkhanuly and Anauel Ngamissengue. So, 5th round KO for Janibek. Ngamissengue stood in the pocket. It was a bit of a different fight from Janibek. Usually breaks him down. It was just he allowed himself to get hit a little bit, stayed in the pocket, and then just basically overpowered, isn't it?
Done what he was supposed to do
Yeah.
against that type of opponent.
I think I will mention this though. Yeah, I think you had round 3 KO, I had round 6, and it was round 5, so we did quite well on that one. Yeah, what we basically said.
I think it's just keeping him busy. Did what he was supposed to do.
Yeah, he's got some power in the
Yeah.
thing. The thing we were seeing was he actually enjoys the battle a bit, isn't it? Because he sort of played the game of his opponent, but did it better. And because it was like an infighting contest rather than a external, so I think he's showing that he can do the different things. And then he's sort of, well, they don't directly call up, but I think they're looking at Adames or Lara now to get the other belts, to unify and
Yeah, I think
Undisputed.
there's no one else in that division apart from unifications for him.
And then I think after that he's called Canelo and Benavides.
Yeah, well, I think once he does the middleweight, he's big enough to move up.
Yeah,
So-
he's definitely got the power.
Yeah, definitely move up. But
Because the finish was quite good, isn't it? Left
Yeah.
hand and then left hand again. Before he could go down, he's basically out, but he hit him again before just to make sure.
yeah, like
It's a good
I would
finish.
like to see him unify the division now.
Yeah. Well, I think what they're saying is that Adames depends on Shiraz rematch. Then it may get delayed. And then otherwise, I think that's the next one. And then Lara after. I think he's the best guy in the division.
Yeah, he's number 1 in the division.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any dispute in that. But he's just got to kind of prove it now by unifying the
unifying
division.
Well, I think Adames was better than people give him credit for, but I think Janibek has more to his game. And Lara's going to be tricky because obviously he's got skill and pop as well.
I don't know whether Lara fights him.
Yeah, I think that's why they're looking at Adames as more the
Yeah.
likely fight, depending on whether the rematch goes in or not with Hamza Shiraz. I think what they were looking at was the Hamza Shiraz one was really the bigger fight. But yeah, I don't think he's ready yet.
I don't think they'll put Shiraz into that rematch, to be honest.
No.
So,
So I think, Adames will look like that would be the next
Yeah.
fight.
Summer
Good fight.
Summer unification fight be good.
Yeah.
And
I think you need to see him tested against somebody with a closer level of skill.
yeah, I get, keeps him busy.
Mm-hmm.
He's not going to get massive, well-named opponents until he gets a unification fight.
Well, the only opponents there really are the unification, isn't it? I
Yeah.
think he's beaten most of the rest in it. There was the number 2 in WBO, Bentley, he's already beaten. Then Gautieri's already taken out, then it's the similar people in the other side. And Ngamissengue was actually 7th in IBF. And I think he's in one of the other ones as well, ranking. So
there's
10th in one and 7th
There's a
in the
lot
other,
of
isn't he?
people in all the divisions in similar situations to him. I mean, Opataya's in a similar situation. You're waiting for the unification belts. At least they're getting out
Yeah.
and staying busy.
Well, I quite like this, innit? Because it was showing the story of Anauel and Ngamissengue. So he's basically like, I think, on the streets, and then he's managed to get in boxing and stuff. So it's like a huge level jump up in fight. So hopefully he's got a good payday and it helps out his career. His game as well. It was good. He didn't like, it wasn't a back off and thing. It was an in fight. He's like a closer fighter, in fighter anyway. And Janibek played his game, but just played it better.
Yeah.
And he had more power. I don't think he was, he sort of felt the power to come on back and didn't. I don't think he was that perturbed by it, shall we say.
No.
He almost looks like, I know we said it with Mihailovic because that was personal, where he's like, I wouldn't say he was playing with his food here because he was respectful, but it's almost like he can get it finished whenever he feels like it against that level of opponent. It's basically his, how much work do I want to do today? Doom. Okay, right now, time to end it. Boom, done.
It's going to be against that level of opposition, to be fair. And it just shows that he is...
He's levels above.
And that's what you're meant to do with that type of opponent.
Yeah. It's a professional performance. Yeah, I'd like to see him unify, and I think then, him and versus, depending on what happens with Canelo and with Benavidez. Obviously, Benavidez is two divisions above, not just
they're
one.
miles away yet.
Yeah. You've got to do the unification,
away.
Isn't it? And they've already got other plans, so yeah. It'd be quite interesting to see. But we look forward to a good fight as usual. He's worth watching.
He is definitely worth watching.
Although this was quite tricky to watch because it wasn't on UK TV. Anyway, it was quite tricky to watch.
I watched it on YouTube this morning. So.
Yeah, it was quite tricky to watch because it wasn't on in here, Australia or US. Or US was ESPN Plus, but obviously you can't get that. And then it was quite tricky. But yeah, good contest. There's a couple of fights on the undercard when interesting. The Kazakh fighters look like they come Janibek, I think, and there's a heavyweight one, which is an interesting contest. But yeah, we'll leave them for another time. The next fight was Joe Joyce and Hrgovic.
This was a good fight, this.
Yeah, well, when it started, I was like, oh, thank God, it's not like, it's not a bore fest, which we said it could be.
Yeah, no,
it was interesting. It was a good fight, good contest. Only 10 rounds, I think. But
okay, to have 10-round fights. When you're at that level, you should be doing 12.
Did you get, after the first round, Hrgovic did quite well, like feeling out in shots. When he went back to his ring, did you look like he was knackered? Already like gassed out, or is that just his look, his facial expression?
His look, and he does tire, and then he gets his second wind
because he got into. I think, to be fair, I don't think he was there. I think that's just his look that he has, isn't it? That is persona. But I think about the 4th, 5th round, he got a little bit
tired,
and then he had a round off in one, and then the last 3 rounds, he's basically,
when he puts his punches together, Hrgovic, he looks superb. He really does.
Right.
And fair play to Joyce, he took some massive shots.
Huge.
But Joyce, I was watching it.
Well, who are you going to analyse first? Joyce? Go on, let's do it.
He just looks amateurish sometimes.
I was sat there thinking, I could beat you. You're so slow. I could see your punches come from a mile away. That I wouldn't be able to knock you out, but I'd be able to give you. I just hit you so hard.
A lot of people. I mean, I'm Joyce's biggest critic, but a lot of people think because he's slow, but he's deceptive with it. But when he's tired and he throws his punches, he's falling over his front foot. I mean, there was one
he got tired near the end.
Yeah, I mean, he was falling over his own feet.
Well, he nearly stumbled over one, and I'm looking thinking, wait a minute, Hrgovic isn't near him. The referee's not near him. What is he falling over there?
He smothers his own work as well. Like I say,
I think it's time for him to retire.
Yeah.
He's just taking... The thing is, even if he can get through it, there's too much more punishment, isn't it? The thing I do have with scorecards, I was being kind and gave him 1 round. I know you like my scoring. But if you look at the amount of... the commentary was so biased, it was ridiculous. But if you look at the punch output, and the quality of punches were just with Hrgovic, it's like he's basically doubled him. He's way more punches for Hrgovic, accurate and power punching than for Joyce. Joyce did throw a lot, but if you actually look at that, he hasn't won a round. What did you think of this?
Joyce was on the front foot the whole time.
Yeah. So that's why I gave him a round. I only gave him a round.
So judges will go on defensive work and who's being the aggressor. Joyce was the aggressor all the way through.
Yeah.
He was forcing the fight. There's a lot of times where Hrgovic is just sitting on the ropes.
But do you think forcing the fight by putting your face in the way he punches is really forcing the fight? Because that's sort of his defense. He didn't really have a defensive plan. He started okay because he was quite good.
If Joyce stands still, Hrgovic doesn't move.
Yeah.
He'll just sit in the corner like he did. He's only throwing punches because Joyce is coming forward. So Joyce is being
I think he was lying to see what he was doing and encountering him, or just letting him come in, get closer, throw a few punches, block them, and then hit him back.
There was only one winner and it was Hrgovic. Yeah. Joyce got 3 rounds.
Yeah, I think it's subjective. There's a couple of rounds which are closer. Probably about 3 or 4 that are closer.
No one's
where Hrgovic's scorecard is had less output because he had the breather, or he's taking it a bit easier.
No one's disputing the result.
No, the result was fine. No, but I think the commentators it's a close fight. I don't think it really was.
It's close,
and
in the
rounds
fact
weren't.
The rounds
there was a few
were close,
rounds
though.
were close, just depending on aggression.
If you're going on aggression, the rounds are close.
Yeah, but normally the aggressor's the one hitting you.
Yeah, but Joyce was the aggressor.
He wasn't hitting them very much. He was missing with most of his punches.
He's still the aggressor. Hrgovic spent 2 minutes of every round sat on the ropes.
Yeah, I'm not saying I didn't like what Hrgovic did, because he's so frustrating. Because when he throws his punches, like you said, some of his combinations are fantastic, and the hand speed is really, really good for a heavyweight for the same size.
Yeah, it is.
Especially when you compare it with Joyce's, it's like slow motion against But he's frustrating. He looks like he's just given up. He doesn't fill you with confidence with the thing, and then he comes out with some brilliance, and then, like you said, he has 2 minutes off in a round, and then does it.
But I think what Hrgovic showed me, he's with Abel Sanchez now, who's superb. I did like a lot of Hrgovic's work. I think Hrgovic's biggest worry is he's going to run out of steam.
Yeah. That's why I said he's frustrating in that, he doesn't. If he the combinations he put together, if he maintained them, you'd be like, okay, nobody's going to want to fight him.
I think what he needs to learn to do is stop sitting on the ropes and just go for a walk. Just go for a walk to catch your breath and just throw out some jabs instead of sitting on the ropes.
We'll just keep busy in a lightweight.
Yeah.
Just jab, move, and thingy, instead of just going completely back. Wait for the opponent to come. Because if you do that against an opponent who can actually hit you.
But what we have to is he's only took it at 3 weeks notice?
I think that's what he said. He's only had 3 or 4. He didn't have enough time to train. And
and he still looked in fantastic condition.
Mm-hmm. He needs to change his expression, but other than that,
I'm excited for Hrgovic again, and I think if he works closely with Sanchez, I think he can come back and do some damage in the heavyweight division.
Well, just to give you the punch stats, isn't it? It's like Hrgovic, Joyce threw 522 punches, Hrgovic threw 502, so it's nearly similar, but Joyce has only landed 140, 65 to the body, and Hrgovic has landed 253, 34 to the body. But if you look at that, it's like Joyce has got 67 jabs, 22 to the body. Hrgovic has got 47 jabs, 3 to the body, but the power punches is ridiculous. 73, 43 to the body, and 206, 31 to the body. So it's like punch out, but he's over 50% in power punches, nearly 56% in landing power punches. Again, Joyce took the punches really well. We've got to give him credit for that.
Both fellas took some heavy shots.
Hrgovic got some. When Joyce does land, he's got the size and the power.
Yeah, he has got power. Unfortunately, I think that's it for Joyce now.
Well, to be honest, if I was if you had a connection with him, I'd just say, look, mate, you can't keep doing that.
To be honest,
because he's going to end up with some, like, even if he doesn't get like damage in the fight, you're going to have some damage.
I think the interview with Frank Warren afterwards was quite interesting because even he was, without saying it, was like, we'll have a chat. Usually Frank's like, of course he can come back, but there was nothing.
I don't think there's anything. Yeah, he could go on and he's good, interesting in a fight and stuff because he's always got a chance. Because even in this, as much as Hrgovic was on top and doing the better stuff, there was always the thing in your back of the head. If Joyce lands on him, it could be he could
but
get him out of there.
Joyce is gone now. Even if you put him in with a tumour or something like that, he's gone that bad now where it's like, well, it's only Joe Joyce.
Yeah. I don't think even he's not even a gatekeeper level.
He's not a big scalp now. No. Yes, he's going to give a lot of people rounds. He is, because he does have a good chin.
But that's where I'd be worried because you're just taking damage. Like you've taken like his punches.
Mate, I mean, even his interviews already, you can tell he's taken one too many punches.
You've got 206 power punches. So there's 31 to the body. So he's basically taking like 170 plus punches to the face.
Yeah, he's...
and Hrgovic is like, despite the fact that he didn't get him out of it, Hrgovic is weakling. He's got good power. So net punches, he's 100 behind in power punches to the face. In a 10-round fight. So... I think for safety and things, I think I'd wish him well and retire. Yeah. I think time to do something else. Because that's a ridiculous amount of punches to take. From a heavyweight and somebody similar size.
He's 39.
Yeah, it's not. If you were 29, you could go.
Different. Yeah. He's 39. Yeah. So, yeah.
So I think so. And then Hrgovic, I agree, yeah. Hrgovic is back in the mix. The thing is this, if he actually got fully in shape, didn't look like he was going to gas out, and looked interested in the fight, if he moves like that, I think he's capable of beating Dubois.
I think he wants a rematch with Dubois. Yeah. I mean,
I think he was disappointing in that
fight. He already called for the rematch. Problem is...
I think Dubois is looking at other things. But, yeah, I think... I'd be interested to see
he's got to win a couple more fights.
Yeah, he's got more to do. There's plenty of people in the heavyweight thing, in it. Let me just bring it up while I'm going to do heavyweight.
You'd put him in against the winner of, which was announced that night, Miller Clark.
Actually, I missed the bloody fight. I missed... what Miller... Wardley.
Sorry, Wardley. I always get confused. Wardley Miller.
I'm trying to remember his bloody name. You put me off by saying Clark. Yeah. Wardley Miller was that's made before. That's what I was going to say.
That's been announced. That's going to be a great fight. Winner of that, fight Hrgovic.
Yeah.
That'll properly put you up the ratings.
Well, it's a good fight for both sides. Whoever's in there, you're back in the mix in it. And they're both, all right, Wardley's come up through the thing, so it's different. But, for Miller... That's a better gatekeeper fight than Joe Joyce, and then Hrgovic versus the winner of them. Yeah, it's a good call. I think a good fight. Bakoli at some point is going to come back with proper training and things.
No, Bakoli's fighting.
Is he got a fight?
Yeah, he's fighting on.
Oh yeah, they've given him one anyway because that was as the reward
for the Canelo undercard, I think.
He's on one of them, because we're going to do a video about it.
Yeah.
So he's got the... Zhang, do you think, is out as well now? It's still dangerous, but I think the people worked out the trick.
Well, it's not hard to work Zhang out.
Gas us out after 6 rounds. Run for 6 rounds, and then you've got him.
Problem with Zhang is he is in the who needs him club, because if you get caught by him, you're getting sparked out.
Yeah.
You're never going to be an entertaining fight against him.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone knows now, don't go for his breeze block head, just target his body.
Yeah. Well, it's a tire him out and target the body. Zhang is out the mix now. Bakoli, I think we'll get back in. Them two are in it. Joshua, do you think he's going to come back?
Yeah, of course he is.
Who do you think is going to be?
Tyson Fury.
So actually, better question is Tyson Fury, is he going to come out of retirement?
Mate, that fight, I reckon that fight's already made.
So they're just playing theatrics.
Yeah.
Okie dokie. And then we will leave it at that.
And what I will say is Dubois needs to fight Parker next.
Yeah, I agree. I think that has to happen. I think Parker deserves that shot, and I think that'll be a really good fight.
Yeah, and I reckon it'll be Caballero versus...
The winner.
No.
Caballero versus...
Usyk.
But Usyk's only going to fight for the belt.
No, he's not.
He's said that's what he said. So he might be lying. But,
Bollocks.
because I don't think he really wants to fight Dubious, but he only wants it because of the belt.
He's been undisputed.
So he wants to be two-time undisputed.
Undisputed's done.
He wants to be two-time. Well, he never really lost the belt.
Exactly.
It's just
done.
It's on a hire to somebody else.
Yeah, it's done.
So he wants it back.
Forget it.
Okay. And then another one on a sort of recovery fight, Tszyu versus Joe Spencer. Tszyu won by KO in the 4th round. What did we have? I think we said it was going to take him a bit longer than that. I think he had 8th round KO. And
They picked the perfect opponent for Tszyu, didn't they? Someone who stands right in front of him. What a bit of matchmaking that was.
It was good matchmaking.
Jesus Christ.
Well, I actually gave Spencer the 1st round because I think just on the base, there wasn't that many punches, and I think he had a bit more. But yeah, and then Tszyu just worked him out and turned it up a bit.
You know, for what was in front of him, he was made to look quite good, I think. His hand speed looked really good. He was landing good, but like I say, Spencer didn't move.
Yeah. He ran around for a bit, but when he started getting hit, he stopped, which is sort of the opposite of what you do as an assignment.
A bit weird. But like I say...
I think it's a confidence boost fight for him, wasn't it?
Yeah,
it wasn't easy, but it's not like...
He's on a rebuild, like I say.
Because he did look a bit nervous in the 1st round.
Yeah, fast hands.
Well, we know he has got skill and he's got power.
Has he though?
Up. Well, not power. I don't think he's like one punch power. He's not Murtazaliev. But I think in combination, his powers in combinations, because he did damage him up quite a lot.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see who they put him in with next. Whether they go, right, let's have another.
I think he needs a bit more work, isn't it, before he gets to because that division, as we've said many times, is super stacked. So I don't think they've got a...
thing is, stay busy. Just stay busy. Look, he's a massive name in Australia. He is a huge name in Australia. And he can fight people like Joey Spencer.
Well, it was funny when they're doing their ring announcing and they're like, it's like, give him a good Australian welcome to Joey Spencer. They all stop booing. It's like, yeah.
So he can, he's going to fill out in Australia.
He's still a name, isn't it? So he's going to, I think he's still a name everywhere if he gets back in, but I think he needs a bit more work. Concerned, do you still, because the problem against Murtazaliev was that he went forward. He doesn't really move his head off the line. I'm not sure he's fixed that much. He was a bit more defensive fighting, but his head was still, his head movement and thing isn't greatest.
His defense is attack.
Yeah.
That's his defense.
Which works against your people who aren't at that level. Yeah. But if you're going against,
someone will work that out and counterpunch him. This is exactly what happened to him last time.
Yeah.
But, he's not had loads and loads of fights, has he? Let's be honest. He's still...
I think he needs to have a humor, not at the top, but closer.
I said this last time.
You said it was he's
been moved too quick.
Yeah.
Far too quick. Yes.
And there's too much talent in that division.
Yes, his dad's Costa Tszyu, who was an absolute legend. But building back up and see what happens.
So if he builds back up, who in there do you think is he? If he had a rematch against Fundora, not right now, but built up, do you think Fundora's now got enough confidence and thing in himself now?
Fundora is...
Because he's a tricky fight for everybody, isn't it?
Fundora's a tricky fight, but it's Fedora suits
His
Tszyu.
style. Yeah. Mertesalia, we won't measure.
Ortiz.
See, Ortiz and him would be a good fight. 'Cause
It
they're
would be a
similar.
great fight. And I think
But
it's
I
whoever
think-
lands first.
Yeah.
It'd just be
But I think
a war.
Ortiz has got a bit better defense.
Just be a war,
Although-
that fight. No, I think they'd just stand in the ring and go toe to toe.
Toe to toe.
Might as well stick them
Who's
in
got the better chin?
stick them in a phone box
Yeah.
and see what happens.
That would be a hell of a fight.
Yeah.
I think Ortiz needs to have an easier fight before that, and Tszyu needs to build up a bit.
Yeah.
I think that would be good. Against a Bowichuk or a Madrimov? Do you think that's going to be similar to Mertesalia?
They're too clever.
Yeah. I think you need to build
They're
up to
too
that level, isn't it? But you need to go through one of them, I think, before you go to the
They're
top.
too clever. They're too clever for him. Their boxing IQ's far better than his boxing IQ, and that's the problem.
And they're too tough as well. So your board of attrition isn't going to work.
Right now, they're too clever for him.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe in a couple of years.
Yeah, I think he needs to build up against any of them. Any of the ones.
He's still a young man.
Yeah.
There's no, and this is what I mean. They shouldn't be rushing him. So he should be.
He needs to fight a better opponent than this one, but build them up, isn't it? Go a little bit above and then a little bit more. About 2, 3, 4 fights.
Keep him in
Probably
Australia
this year
as well.
you can do, because if you're doing that, you can have 3 of those fights in a year. Get rid of the ring rust, get back up to confidence, and build up a little bit of those where you're lacking, because you know now where you've been highlighted in that fight. And if you can fix that, then I think he's got a good chance against, he's back in that mix of the names. But I think he needs a bit more. Right now, I agree. I think all of those have got.
They won't be looking at Tszyu thinking, one, he's not a superstar.
Mm-hmm.
2, they'll be looking at him going, got nothing to gain from him. 3, I don't think they're actually scared to fight him.
Well, yeah. I think he's a big enough star in that he's got a name that will get a crowd.
He's not big enough. Since he's been, don't forget, he got smoked.
By Mertesalia. Yeah, but I think
Absolutely
if you see his
smoked.
response there in a number of fights, they still get a lot. He's got a lot of Australian fans. And I think he's still, because of his dad, got a name with all of them. I think it's taken a hit by what Mertesalia have done to him, but I think he's still got enough. If you put a fight against one of those big boys, he'd be there. I just think I agree with your other 2 points. I think he'll get. I don't think they're afraid of him, so you haven't got that factor. Whereas he did have that with his dad's name before,
And they don't gain nothing from beating him.
Yeah, and they go and gain nothing from it.
Oh, yeah, so
It's good for him, but it's not good for them.
Oh, so what, you beat Tszyu? Yeah, he got smoked inside 3 rounds
Yeah.
last time. And then he's beat Joey Spencer. I mean, he doesn't even sound like a boxer, Joey Spencer, does he?
No.
He sounds like he should be working in the IT room, Joey Spencer.
Yeah.
Excuse me, can you tell me what office Joey Spencer's in?
Yeah.
Thanks very much.
So, yeah, I agree. I think that's basically... So he's got to build up to that. Because even the other ones around that are quite tough. I think he's not even there. I think he needs to do a bit more, then get to that. And then...
His next one should be top 15 opponent.
Yeah.
Maybe the 14th.
Yeah. Probably.
But he was okay. He did what he had to do. It was good matchmaking. That's all I'll say.
Yeah. I think so. What else was there on the things that we got out of the match? Abdullah Mason. I didn't watch the fight, but he won. So I just want to mention him. He's back on the thing. And which one is the... Don't think any of these really... There's some interesting fights on them, but...
Yeah, there was another heavyweight clash on the Joyce Hrgovic card, which are going to get... I think it'll be a no contest. Referee said break and there was hit.
The Adelaide and TK.
Yeah.
But it was only 4 rounds or something, wasn't it?
Yeah. Referee said break twice, moved TK's arms
And
as he was in a clinch, and then Adelaide, boom. And they were like, the corner was like,
yeah.
you've said break twice, moved his hand. How can you give him a count? So I think that'll be.
I missed the end of the fight, didn't I?
I think that'll be a no contest, and the referee will get a very harsh telling off.
Fair enough. Deserves it for that.
So yeah.
Okie doke. Let us know your thoughts. What do you think of? We'll start with Tim Tszyu's back to normal. Where do you think he goes next? What does he need to do? Do you agree with us, or have you got some alternative?
Come on, the
views?
Australians will think he's the greatest in the world.
In maybe the Australian world, yeah.
I'll say this right now: Tim Tszyu will never be a world champion.
Again, because he has been world champion. So.
He will not be a world champion.
I think in that division it's quite tough unless people move out the way. But yeah, let us know the thoughts. Do you think Tim Tszyu will never be a world champion again? As Simon says. Or do you think he's better than that and he's back and he's going to get back to being there? Do you think how do you think he deals with the other people in that division? Because it's a tough division. And Joyce, do you think he should retire?
Yes.
And what do you see next for Hrgovic?
Dubois rematch.
And let us know what you'd like to see there and what you think. And then Alimkhanuly, does he need to step up now, or do they need to make those unification fights in the middleweight division? And how do you think he does? Which one would you prefer, Lara or Adames? And then, do you think it's reasonable of him to call out Canelo and Benavidez? And how do you think he does against them? Let us know your thoughts, and we shall see you. Do the like and subscribe, and comment what we've said, or what you want to comment, and we will see you in the next one. Thank you very much.